What's up? How you doing? What's good? It is critique day. I think everything is working okay now. Let me know if something's acting strange or sounds are weird or something. Nice. That's a good sign, Boom. I'm glad you like these. Polysock seems to as well. Just waiting for the what is it? The Discord to announce that there's a critique or that the stream is live. There's always a bit of a delay. Promise I'm cooking. Nice. You gonna make some screenshots and send it? Dude, it's sick. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's no stress, Polysocks. I'd like to get in the cadence of doing these more again. And then once things slow down a little bit at work, I'll probably turn the portfolio reviews on again as well. So it should be pretty good. Those ones I really like actually because of the the push to have them in calls is really nice. Like it's an actual discussion. I find that super interesting. I don't think it's very easy to get videos posted to Spotify for that type of stuff, but it'd be cool if it was a podcast because I think each one of those reviews is like 30 minutes, roughly. So like if you could have video with it as well, that could totally work. My screen is a bit higher, so I don't know if that'll mess with me. I had to move some stuff around. I got the tablet here though, so which is nice. I think the hope is that I can doodle on the screen. Oh, bright screen, that's for sure. Oh my gosh. Let me feel that. Martin, what's up, dude? How you doing? What's good, dude? Doing great. What's the tablet? Do you use it, if you don't mind me asking? You just joined? So it's a Huion. I'm probably saying that wrong. Huion. Let me see if I can find the screen here. I think it's a Canvas Pro. Huion Canvas. Maybe it's not Pro. Pro seems a little wild. Shop. Frank, what's up, dude? How you doing? Good to see you. Okay, it's a Canvas Pro 24, 4K. I'll link it for you. It was one of the investments I put down for the year, last year. It was like that and the monitor. Kobji, what's up? How you doing? I'm doing good, man. I've been like changing how I eat and all that jazz, and it's feeling pretty good actually. The goal is to try and like negate a lot of the issues. Like I feel like I get sick a lot, so I'm like, okay, let's see if we can affect the things that we actually have control over and see if that can do anything for us, you know? Like this, like I have a soda here. It's just like a zero sugar one. This is the first soda in like a month, if I had to guess. But yeah, it's feeling good. Rex, what's up, dude? I see you posted some stuff as well. Dude, awesome. Okay. Maybe we can get started. There's only 3 posts right now, so I don't know if if it's because how the bot announces. Let me see if I can. I'll just write it again. Post here. There we go. Ahoy, Raggedy. What's up, man? Oh, thanks for the resub, Rex. Why is it behind my camera? There we go. Weird. Okay, I'm gonna get these posts open. My man. Dude, 20 months. That's cool. Crazy. Mike, what's up? How you doing? Welcome. Okay. I'm gonna lower the music. Let's look at some of your guys' stuff. Tamari, what's up? Yo. Yo, yo, yo. Okay, so I'll try and do it like, oh, that's not even working for some reason. Okay. Remember, I was saying technical difficulties. Give me a minute here. I wonder if I need to go to this display. There we go. Let's put me down here. Let me render out my PNGs. I think you got a little bit of time. People are trickling in, so let's see what comes of it. Okay, so just gonna put some tunes in the back for me. If you would like, go ahead and put some of your own music on. I kind of leave the air open for you to be able to listen to your music and just my voice if you're focusing on stuff, or if you want to look at what I'm talking about, you have control over the sound. Okay, we got Najer. What's up, Reed? Dupe, yo, 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 yo. Okay, so we got Najer here. Let's see if we can't make it a bit larger. So the result is quite nice, man. I like the texture work. The stickers are dope too. Nice difference in the roughness also. Oh, dude. The shrink wrap also, and the written, that's awesome. Yeah, so we feedbacked on this 2 times during the stream. Dude, the end result's pretty nice. There's some things that are like follow the feedback I was giving a while ago, where it was like talking about edges being like too sharp. And overall, I would say you did a pretty good job of like kind of unifying it and just making it look like it's one of the, like it's all designed together. The one that's sticking out now is like, you can see this micro piece here is like much thinner. I wonder if I can just get up in here. Yeah, you can see how thin this becomes. You get some normal issues here as well. So something to look at. You might be able to fix that if there's no baked normal on this. You might be able to fix that with just weighted normals. But yeah, you can see the thickness of this is like quite thin. Even here, it's quite thin by comparison. These are also quite detailed. So if you're thinking about like how the things are constructed, that starts to feel a little too micro for the way that they're going to create these pieces, right? So it's going to be like I guess it's like a plastic mold that they're probably using for that, so that they can generate a bunch of it. and create a bunch of these super soakers. But the presentation, pretty cool. Really dig the look, and also, man, I forgot that these actually come off, and like have to connect to this like I don't even know, like holder piece, and then they screw on here. I totally forgot that that was a thing. These usually stick out mainly because like it's kind of hard to slide those things back. But just, you know, it's a small detail. I guess this is one too, right? Where you're supposed to grab that tab and just pull it. Didn't notice that mistake, gonna fix it. Dude, I got those weird, like, I don't know what you call them, the dev eyes, where you just notice every small like weirdness. Some of the other things I think that are sticking out is like the edge here feels really sharp. So it looks more like an Ngon or like a polygonal issue and not so much like how it's modeled. Like if you were to think about it from a real standpoint. Anik, what's up? Good to see you. And yeah, oh, the nice imprint on the underside there. So you're showing all of these. I'm still of the opinion of seeing like wireframes or like texture sheets. I know that it's kind of debatable. It depends who you're showing your work to, right, for employment. So if you're applying for a props artist position, for example, you're going to want to show wireframes and texture sheets, how you're utilizing your UVs and all that jazz. But if you're like a level artist, it's not necessarily as important, and it's probably more important about showing your buffers, which are like the balancing of your roughness and the balancing of all the elements put together as a scene. So something to think about. Dude, I'm gonna like unplug my earphones. I can feel it. Just accidentally yank it out. But yeah, it would be nice to at least see maybe some texture maps or like a side render with some different buffer views of it. Again, it really depends what you're trying to show off as well, right? This is sick, man. I guess this is a ground because I'm seeing a shadow here. Maybe if this was a little bit lighter, you would notice the shadow. It'd be a little easier to see. Could be my screen as well. I don't know. Really cool though. Really cool. And love the sticker damage. There's even the normal on the edge of the sticker. I guess that means that this is uniquely baked on there through Substance Painter, and there's like a normal edge to it. I think with the way stickers get damaged, remember how they peel away and like what happens to a sticker as it gets ripped up, you know? It's only texture and added height. Yeah. Yeah, it feels that way. But really cool. It was fun watching this come together. Ooh, we got more posts now too. Okay. Okay, let me open these ones as well. Okay, we're gonna have to move a tad faster because now you guys are starting to pile up. Okay, so this is gonna be an interesting critique, mainly because it's content I looked at for a while. Does this just drag in here? Ooh, it does. Can I just... What's going on here? I'm still getting used to Affinity, but I like it. It's just, you know, gotta get used to it. And then we got and this one here. Okay, so I'm gonna move this out of the way here. You're probably gonna see me go heads down. Let's see if we can just make a layer and paint like that. Yeah, cool. It's almost like we're in Photoshop. Oh, I guess maybe you did post the concept. Give me a second here. Okay. Cool. Okay, so if we look at this for just general end result, because like modeling wise, like cool, yeah, it's the thing you should always be looking at is like how, of course, the material is still WIP, but it's how it translates once brought into like the texturing phase, right? So, and because this is WIP, that's great because you can go back and adjust things accordingly. So it's very similar feedback to what we were giving to Nature just a second ago, where it's like it's really assessing like where these highlights are. There we go. Or like where these edges are. You really want those to be wider, right? So if you were to look at a side view instead of this or instead of this, you really want to round that quite a bit just so that you get lighting going around the object, right? Because that's just the end result is just going to be easier to read and understand when you look at it here. The edge is so sharp that it basically will get lost in the resolution of your screen, not even the texture, because there's so finite information that the pixels on your monitor are limiting what you can actually visualize. So by beveling those, you actually give your screen, you give it more screen real estate, if you want to say it like that. I don't know if anyone ever talks about it like that, but I think that's the clearest way I can describe it. Let's see if I can get a better, like a little easier to see here. But yeah, and you'll see that's the same thing everywhere, where like as you run out of resolution, you can't visualize the details that you're trying to, like you lose this edge almost entirely right now. And it's those details that are really gonna like drive things home. The other thing is to think about these panels. Read up on the I'm not gonna dig into it because maybe that's like a conflict. But read up on the lore of this location and like how is everything put together, those types of things. Where are all these pieces coming from? And like if we weren't even thinking about that, looking at how to make this surface more interesting is more about trying to, maybe you can dent the panel at this spot, and does that make this corner kind of fold towards you a little bit in the normal? Doesn't necessarily need to be like that in the low poly mesh or anything, depending on how much detail you want to add. But those types of aspects, those are what's gonna kind of push the surface further than just a wall of panels. You want it to feel like it's a surface with things happening behind it, that the panels are thinner, that there's inner workings and pieces are bolted together, and it's connected in ways that help describe construction. What's up, Single? How you doing? I'm glad you like these streams. But yeah, it's something that maybe you won't see too much of in concepts, largely because they're trying to define surfaces and break up like this area, for example. You have to break that surface up. Okay, we're gonna round it here, and then this is gonna go straight, and it's rounded here as well. Maybe we round this part. How does that meet this thing? And so, largely speaking, from a blockout standpoint, you just need a rounded corner and a flat surface with maybe like a rounded top up here, right? And from there, it's just a matter of like figuring out how to break this surface up in a way that makes it feel like these vents. In 3D, I'd make those deeper because that's an opportunity to give you more depth in the surface definition. And it's the same reason why I say like take these panels and dent it, or like add like a normal bend, which makes the surface feel like it's curling out. Those are going to get you a lot of bonus eyes and like quality, but also shows that you're not just replicating a concept. You're pushing further with how to translate it to 3D and make it even like how to enhance it to turn it up more. Right? The concept should only inform the direction, but you have the ability to execute it further and push those surfaces. But yeah, it's those, because right now it feels very flat, right? And understanding how you use these shapes is going to be important. I would highly suggest making, like, for example, this piece here and this piece. I'd make those their own pieces. And then you can move them around and place them. I don't know if you're just planning to do this as like a diorama type of scenario. If that's the case, then don't worry about that. But if you're trying to like build more of the hallway or need some extra parts, these are like, you can kit bash with these a little bit, right? But yeah, super cool. Yeah, it's diorama. Keep the scope limited. Awesome. I mean, that's a great way to not push yourself too far. And just focus on the quality, you know, of the piece. Really nice. Really nice stuff. Those notes match your 500 screenshots. Awesome. Okay, let's take a look at this. Oh wow, I just realized there's just stuff here. That's cool. And my eraser's not full on? Weird. That's some of the stuff I haven't really figured out yet with Affinity, is it kind of does some weird things with the eraser. Or like some of the brushes, like it just doesn't feel like they're fully filling, even though like if I go to erase, it says the flow and opacity are at max. Maybe it's because it's a wet edge. I don't know. Maybe if I do this, let's hit erase. If I turn that off. Oh my God, it is. I don't know why, but cool. Let's scroll down to this. This is Rex Tola. Mr. Tola. Want to know your opinion on textures, simply or specifically on the chair. The props in which the chairs is included is still very green. So no screen of that yet. Give me a second here. Oh man. Even no sugar is kind of, or zero sugar is kind of sweet now. That's weird. So generally, material-wise, feels pretty good. The surfaces have some interesting definition where you can see like the roughness difference between the grain bands. I actually really like that. The what? The project? Or the project? Is that, what is the project? Is this a project? I'm like, what do you mean? I was like, yekt? 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 Cool. Cool. Typos destroying my mind. So generally feels really good. Some things worth highlighting. I don't know what the edge is here. Looks like it maybe is normal related because it seems to go away around here. Poly count wise, I would like double this. Don't be afraid of the poly count. Bring it up so that you don't notice that it feels low poly. Proyecto. Like you can see the edges here. Also, again, depends how close or far away you're seeing it. If it's intended to be viewed at this distance, you're probably okay. Because you're getting this kind of shape language going on, which is non-conducive to geometry. So that's really interesting to me. Like it's much more detailed at this distance than this distance, right? So if it's first person, probably add a little bit more geo. It does look a little unstable. I agree, Najer, or Miro, sorry. And you're just talking about like how we go from here to here, and it's this shape for the base, right? I could get that. I think it's fine because of how wide this is. Definitely, if you were to lean this way, it's gonna be a ride. You might fall. But the things I would like to focus on are how these things connect. So material-wise, looks pretty good. You've got this material. You've got this material. Roughness is quite interesting in them. Normals here feel a little soft. I would maybe take these here and this normal, maybe push it more in the strength. And then it comes more to how things are meeting. And that's to me is where the magic is with this type of stuff. So getting some AO in here, right? You want some ambient occlusion kind of creeping through. You probably want some AO as on just the body in general, because it's going to give you this gradient from the leg, which will help you understand where things are positioned and what's considered under versus not. I mean, I wonder if I can. My mic is in the way here. Let me know if you lose my voice, just because, you know, if I move the mic out of the way and I'm not talking into it, that could be problematic. I am curious, though, if I can do this. Let's see here. Mask. We'll do... Yeah, see, the wet edges thing does weird stuff. So if we were freehanding, we just grab this area here. And... Oh, wow. How do I add? Okay, control and all right, cool. By being able to have that gradient, right? That's gonna help you a lot with just understanding where things are at, the depth of stuff. Oh my God, what is the key for this? Freehand lasso, because you can see in the back, even back here, being able to just know that it's just a little bit under. That'll go a long way, right? If you can, yeah. Man, this is gonna take some getting used to. That's for sure. Exile, what's up, dude? Good to see you. But yeah, I think you've got ambient occlusion, right? You've got you just switch this back to normal. You've got how things are connected and what they do when they meet, and they've been touched for a bit, right? You're gonna get a little bit of, maybe it's not drips, but like just some buildup, maybe some dirt specks on the tops. Those are the details that are really gonna set this prop apart from just being a surface, right? And you can see you get the ambient occlusion in here, you get the little specks of dirt and dust, maybe exaggerating the chipping a little bit more, or edge wear. That can also only be in the roughness. Mike's, what's up, dude? But yeah, it's getting those pushed. And if this is exaggerated more, if this is exaggerated more than normal, I think it's going to pop more. Yeah. Why would it be dirty unless it's in a rundown room? Oh man, go look behind your monitor. Things get dirty, dude, and they get dirty fast. Even if it's not like if it's lived in and you're still cleaning, if you're not deep cleaning, there's dirt. Mini Muffin, it's okay, man. It's okay. I'm not calling anyone out, man. My apartment's a wreck right now. But yeah, those things will go a long way, I think. But I think overall the surfaces look pretty nice. It's just amplifying it a bit and adding a bit of geometry and then connection between the materials. You also had some other props that I guess are they part of the same scene? I mean, this looks pretty sick. It looks maybe a little hyper real, right? Let's do this here. I have to remember in Affinity, they're all smart objects until I tell it otherwise. So they'll keep rezzing up as I scale them around. But yeah, this feels pretty good. There's maybe the general dirtiness, like all this stuff, could maybe be toned down, so it's easier to understand or read the surface. I think we all know what it is, right? So it's not too crazy when it comes to that. And you are getting a bit of the connection going on in here with the dirt and stuff that's kind of built up in the crevices. There's some nice character work going on in the wood material. So that's really nice. And I mean, at this distance, honestly, it's fine. The wood material may be a little too desaturated, but that might be more of a personal taste thing. And then when you see it in the context of an environment, you can see the contrast of the grenades and the contrast of the box is a little different. I would maybe, like, the box actually looks a little dusty. I would maybe add some attributes of dustiness on these to just integrate them better into the scene. Exile's questioning the scale. It could be because of the render for sure. You're talking about this one, yeah, or maybe this one. Yeah, because the environment that's being reflected could be causing the surface detail to be pretty wild. Because here it feels much more balanced. It's only being emphasized on the highlight there, like this highlight. I'm like, come on, man. Let me doodle. I'm like, why? I'm like, why? Am I going crazy? I'm on this layer. It is not visible. That is why. I'm going crazy. I'm so used to the eye being opened or closed. But yeah, the highlight is very detailed, right? There's a lot of information going on in there. But I think that's technically fine as long as, like, in this one, the reason this looks so busy is because you have so many lights coming in from different angles. Anywho, I think in the environment is more interesting to me. And it's more about tuning the materials to fit the environment a little bit more. Like if we scroll back and just, yeah. Right? It feels like this has more contrast than the rest of the environment, right? So if you look in your albedo only, that should tell you quite a bit. And maybe the contrast is because you're using a lot of metallic values, and the normal strength could be a little bit stronger. Trying to learn a new program at the same time as doing a critique. When else, man? When else? Really nice though. Some nice stuff. This is how I learned the program. I don't know. I think it makes sense. Wonder how I lock this thing. Oh, there we go. Nice. Oh no, not nice. Okay. Now it's okay. Model looked really nice. It's more nitpicky in my opinion, what I'm highlighting. All right, next up we got Natasha. Thank you for posting your work. I see you have the Nomad color, so it's really cool to see you coming in and posting some work. I'm going to just kind of scroll. Wow, this is really high res, isn't it? Maybe I should. Can I just copy this? Hang on here. Hang on here. I was working from home recently, so if we're gonna do a clipboard paste, I need to make sure that pastes correctly. Thank you for the critiques. Hey, no problem. They're super fun, so I enjoy these greatly. This is dope. How these are placed does feel a bit painted, but I love the idea and the look. It's just a matter of like trying to get it to feel a little bit more natural. You know, just like where can that go? That just feels I would assume it would be more here just because that's the area you're gonna grab, and like it'd be less here. But you might be looking at references that tell you otherwise, you know. This makes a whole lot of sense. And maybe there would be some like discoloring from like the drips that have happened throughout the millennia of using this. No, it's just some details and thoughts. I love the subtle gradient that's happening in the background here in the paint. I don't know if that's just I think it's actually there's a gradient going on here. That's not just from the lighting, but really nice. These look good too. Wall's quite busy with a normal. If you, yeah, see from back here, you don't really pick up on it. It isn't until you zoom in that you really get this normal noise that's happening on the surface. I would maybe half the strength of this, or like play with the strength of that, lowering it down, just so that you don't, it doesn't compete with the props that are on the table. Why did I pick yellow? That's a terrible color to be drawing on this thing. There we go. Oh my gosh. Love it. Yes. Yes. There is a gradient. That's cool. Ooh, some light passing through here. We get some subsurface action going on. Let's see what else we got here. So, I mean, this looks pretty rad. I think if there was anything, I always want to see a little bit of like age, even if it's just discoloring. Like you can see a little bit here. Maybe there's a little bit of discoloring here. Doesn't need to be drips, right? But the way you've like broken up the surface looks really nice. I don't know how high res the textures are on this. So you wrote you want to improve. Is this done? Kind of. I mean, so to me, I would take this and I would try and make it done. Like, if you go to the back here, I would maybe try and take this board, give it a different color, or make it a little darker, a little lighter. Add some, like you're doing a lot of like character work on this dresser. Add a little bit down here. you know, maybe some little objects that kind of look like dust or dirt, maybe a bit of chipped paint, and that'll separate it from the wall. I would maybe look at toning down the normal on the wall and letting these larger normal details do the work. I like this normal that's happening on the wall, but I would just tone down the noisiness of that. It'll just feel a little bit more natural. And I think, I'm assuming the roughness of the paint is different from the roughness of the wood. But if it's not, I would try and get some separation between the two. It looks like they are, judging by the little highlights I'm seeing here. Ooh, I love this this kind of rusting color that's happening on the inside here. It's like discoloring or rustiness. I think if you wanted to add anything else, I would maybe add like a little trash can here, you know? Or maybe not a trash can. Maybe it's like a little umbrella situation going on. It's a tiny umbrella. But electric socket for the lamp, that could be cool. That could be cool. I'm trying to figure out where you would move it or put it, because like if I had that there, maybe putting a socket here would be a little too distracting. I like the tidiness of it. If I was the person in this real house, I would probably try and make the socket behind this dresser thing. But yeah, compositionally, just putting this here to maybe like shift the weight a little bit and make it not too symmetrical. I like the painting in the back. Generally it feels good. It's also a little crooked, which is, I don't know if you noticed that. But I think it kind of makes it more real. So it's cool. I like that. Yeah, I think, I think you're close to done. Maybe the dresser is a little dark in the albedo, and that's making it kind of feel deeper to the whole shot. It's like if you pumped it up just a little bit, it might integrate itself more into the scene, and I think that's it. Try and make the rust from the handles bleed a little. That is one way to do it. You're talking about like how I was talking about the drips. Like if you don't want the drips to go too much, keep it toned down. But yeah, the rust would bleed onto this surface. There is a lot of like softening of the paint around here. I'm assuming just from like grabbing the drawers all the time. It's perspective. It's not going to be perfectly straight. Very true. Quite possible. I don't know. This angle, I guess if the wall here is further back than this point in my perspective, then yes. But yeah, it's trying to break up these lines here and toning down some of the busyness, maybe integrating the dresser more from a value standpoint in the albedo. And then this, like, it doesn't need to be this, but something could be nice to just kind of offset the straightness of everything. Similar to like what the cat's doing. Paint often adheres to wooden baseboard a little differently than plaster, even if it's the exact same color. A slightly different roughness value and some slight visibility of paintbrush strokes in the normals would be nice. Yeah, I mean, so right now you have this noise normal. If you got like a detail normal that's like paintbrush strokes, you know, of someone painting the wall, that would look pretty sick. Because you could tile that as much as you needed to like really sell the look. You're getting a little bit of it here, but cool. I think I'll move on. Before I do, maybe you guys need to see the. You can see it here, especially the desk looks quite dark, albedo wise, and that's really separating it from the scene. I would bring that brighter. This might be too dark as well. Yeah. Doesn't look as dark here, so this maybe some post work happening. This looks a little bit more integrated. Although it's like more washed out here, and then the rest of the scene is not as washed. So just some tuning, some balance, some balance. Super sick though. Really nice to see. Gallo, what's up, dude? Would like to know your opinion on the textures. Maybe you could give me some tips on how to better the second render lighting. I'm having a hard time. Here, let's drag these over. Oh, I'm duping stuff now. Nice. Let's see here. I'm having a hard time with the metal reflections feeling either too dark or too light. By the way, it's rendered in Marmoset. Thanks for taking the time. Okay, so we got this one. We got this one as well. So with metal, it's all about like what's reflecting in the environment, right? What's in your environment, your HDR. So maybe instead of tuning the values here, you could like, and the type of metal, sure, for sure. Maybe you could try changing the environments a couple times. I'm sure you've done that if you've been tweaking these values like crazy, just to see what types of environments are reflecting best with this. Like for example, if you need, you're saying that the reflections feel either too dark or too light. That might be because your HDRI has areas of very dark pixels and areas of very light pixels. If you can find like an HDRI that's more rounded, and is more maybe less contrasty in that range, that might nullify the issue you're experiencing here. Man, it's really difficult when you get into this type of erosion or corrosion, because it starts to look like wood materials. Like these lines, I don't know if those lines would even be there in the normal. So those give the elements of wood, when maybe those lines would probably be more in the normal vector in the roughness. So it's like kind of when you get brushed metal look. Just think about what happens with rust and the specific type of material. And if the rust like corrodes, the rust should be corroding, right? So it should be going inward. So if this is the side view of the metal, like up close, the rust should be eating away at the metal, right? Oh my God, come on, man. And that's like really close up for the amount of depth I dipped in here. Yeah. Thinking about that, I mean, there's a lot of stuff happening on top of everything, like lots of layering, which is kind of confusing the viewer as to like how the surface has corroded or aged. The handle looks pretty sick. I really like that. Are there any worn or broken teeth? I mean, that's a good one. That would be a good addition to like, or just some slight normal shifting in some of them. It doesn't look like it's too damaged. And I like you can see like the normal there has got a little bit of a bend to it. Oh man, that water damage though. Brutal. Brutal. Yeah, the lighting here almost feels unlit, even though there's a highlight. It's like strangely artificially lit feeling. The normals or the metal itself here feels better than here, up here. Just I think because the normal surface is very like chunky here, or it's like very emphasized. Rust is usually going to go inward, so I would maybe flip the normals on that. And then I would maybe really simplify all the layering that you're doing on the metal, because I don't think you need that much. There's a lot of stuff happening all at once here. Yeah, I'd be curious on your reference as well. All right, we gotta keep moving here. We got slice. Let me just pull this over here. Oh, dude, rad. Hang on. Oh no, assassinated. Oh my god. I'm gonna put a little heart on there. Did you say it was made in London, but it has an eagle on it? What? I mean, that says Chicago. What are we talking about? Get the crystal. Yeah, that's a sad story, man. So, I'm trying to. So when the droid falls, it goes from momentum. Here we go like this here. So when the droid falls, it completely stops its momentum. I would try and slow, like, have it slow down instead of just immediately stopping. Some dust particles definitely will help. And with the camera being this close, you're gonna need more fidelity than just the floor being kind of softer like this. Yeah, you want the momentum to carry it, even though it's hit the ground, and the ground has to slow it down, right? That friction. Um, so with the camera this close, I would definitely right now the environment feels blocked out. Like you got your general materials in, you've got I think it's a tree in the back and a rock here. Um, it's missing like smaller rocks, medium rocks, like little grass, twigs, like maybe. So did he tripped on the crystal? I think is what we're gathering from this. Brutal, man. I hate when I trip on crystals. Um, I like the movement of stuff. Like I think maybe you're rushing between each of the shots or each of the motions. Like imagine if the antennas went up and stayed up for like 1 second and then the legs triggered. So it's like, and then the legs go. It's like this staged. It's like a two-stage process. What's up? Okay. That movement's nice. Keep in mind, I'm not an animator. Oh, no. Neither are you? Dude, awesome. We're in it together. But yeah, it's all about anticipation and like trying to like really sell that momentum. And just getting some detail in the environment. So the shot comes from above or maybe from front. I feel like he should drop faster. And maybe when it happens, you got to get some of those classic sparks. You know, there's just sparks that fly everywhere. That'll help. That's cool though, man. Really cool. Okay. We got to open up some more here. Dude, you guys are posting like crazy now. Okay, where are we at here? BD1's death was planned from the start. I mean, can't win them all. Let's drag this one in. Look at that. Sick. Can I... How do I do this? There we go. I just take these and delete. There we go. Nice. Okay. Oh, man, you can nest every layer in this program. It's kind of crazy. Okay, this looks cool. Let's get a few of these up here. So this is Sheila. Recently, I picked up this old project again, which I started 2 years ago. Due to my lack of experience at the time, I struggled to make progress, but now I think I'm already improved. I took inspiration from Italy, and I aim for an Overwatch style look. I'm still replacing some old textures and planning to add more props. Do you have any feedback on composition and lighting? Okay, there was a few other images in here, so let me grab those. I mean, those already look really cool. Welcome, Raiders. Dude, hey, thanks for the raid, man. How you doing? How was your stream? Welcome to the Empire. I always forget to mark it a little bit. But welcome. Hope you guys are doing well. We're in the midst of critiquing work from the community. It is a critique day. Okay, so Overwatch style, you're still replacing some older textures and planning on adding some more props. Do you have any feedback on composition and lighting? The map is quite large, but at the moment, I think there are shots. These are the shots that work the best. So if these are the shots that would work the best, I would start ignoring everything outside of these shots. I think that's the best course to get you to completion with the scene. I can see you're blocking out everything. You've got some extra objects here. You got this. Let's find a color that, yeah, that's a good color. So you got these. Those are nice. I think that's a great addition. You got some plants up here. You're saying there's still some, maybe it's this as well. You say you're missing some props, or there's still some props to add. I would suggest blocking out all those props to around this level or to this. in quality. Just get them in the scene. And that way you know how many props you have left to make. Yes, all your colors are very choice. They're very Overwatch. They're right there. There is some, I don't know, you have this like dark band here, and then there's these, which can be a bit distracting, or they may look like artifacting. I think that's just the material you're going for. So just keep that in mind. I see it a little bit here as well. I think with Overwatch, you're trying to get that painterly like brush stroke effect on larger surfaces. Like this area kind of screams like that it needs some adjusting. And you know, there's some mapping stuff that needs to be done there. But yes, my suggestion would be to go nice. Got another one there. My suggestion would be to block out all the rest of the props you think you're going to need. Place them in the scene. That'll help you sort out your composition. Use atmosphere to separate elements, like the buildings in the back here could be lighter because they're further back. That gives you a nice sense of depth. These buildings up close here could be further back as well with the atmosphere. So this is the furthest. Maybe even back here is even further. So you have 1, 2, you got 3. And then you've got these walls here that are becoming the least affected by the environment or the atmosphere. That will go a long way for giving you readability of the scene. You'll experience that here too. As this back area goes back far enough, it will just kind of recede into the atmosphere. Same here. It'll just give you an easier read on the environment and be a little less difficult for your eyes to focus on. Let me think here. Yeah, so once you get all the props in, then it's going to be about kind of breaking these straight lines. Maybe they're like that in Overwatch. Just be careful with how straight they are, those edges, and like where they meet, what you can do between them to kind of break them up. Like, for example, here, in this area, right, this is all just following the wall. You could add a trim like decal that just follows, like maybe it's cut like this. And it's like an inverted edge normal. And you can use that to help like blend between these two. Maybe there's like a grout type of, I need like a different color here. Like a grout type of surface, right? And that can help like connect them while still keeping them separate material-wise. Environment looks really cool though. Essentially, it looks like you've got your general colors in. You've got some textures in. You got some nice surface breakup on these like big macro texture for bricks. The details are almost all there. You just need to block out the rest of your props. Get those props to a textured state. And then I would try and connect things a little bit. I don't know if Overwatch does it. I would need to look. But again, just how things meet. How surfaces meet each other and like what they look like. I don't think you need palm on the floor so much as like you could try parallax occlusion mapping if you'd like. I think it's more about just making sure these lines aren't straight, because that's what like aids in the eye being like, oh, that's flat, you know? So if there's something you can do there to kind of break that, the flatness will go away quite quickly. And, you know, don't be hesitant to add like decals that, you know, change the value or the color, or like offset or, you know, like a puddle or those types of things. Those are the things that are going to like push the surfaces a little bit further. But of course, you got to watch the Overwatch, like how far you're taking that, and like if it's too much because it's Overwatch. So it is, the floor is very flat, and maybe that's okay. You need to look at it against Overwatch to really see like where it's at, you know. Okay. Next up is Alexander. Let's get your stuff in here. Yo, look at that. Is this you, D-Reet? Maybe I'll just do this. You got a decent amount of images in here, man. Oh, we got a concept too to go off of. Nice, nice. Let's move this up here. Let's go. Let's go. And then you had another image. I guess you're exploring between like trees and what to use where. Okay. So wanted to make a mountain Chinese autumn vibe. Main building is not finished. So I wanted to make a hero tree. Or is it, I want to make a hero tree, or is it going to take away attention from the gate? The hero tree will take attention away from the gate because it will, it'll have the frequency that you're expecting at the gate. Like they compete for frequency of detail. Oh man. Yeah, when you haven't used a program for 6 months, you definitely don't know that program anymore. Just jump back in and it's like riding a bike. You'll get there. And we'll be here in the Discord if you need anything. But I'm very rusty at Substance Designer these days. Cool. Let's see what we're dealing with here. So I don't know about the bigger tree. I think if it was the focal point, then yes. I would go with something like this. Like this one I like quite a bit. So if we think about that image, we'll bring this up here. Man, that gate's pretty cool. Atomic nodes are your friend? I need to look into those. That is interesting. So this is, man, it looks so much more flimsy when you look at it like that. When it's like broken away like that. So your environment's quite a bit more dry than what we see in the concept, which is, I mean, it's just okay. That's fine. It's basically where you're seeing the green, you would want to see that dryness throughout the environment, right? So you're going to want to see that. Let's see here. You're going to want to see that in these areas and kind of like just building it up along the surfaces here. Maybe some drippage here. It's nice you got these broken up. Structurally, it still feels very intact. I don't know if you want to like break that away. I mean, it looks like it was attacked at some point. I really like this wood stuff. Like using those to kind of break up the surfaces is really nice. I like what it's doing over here for you. The scale of those wood pieces is quite large by comparison of like a human. And that kind of makes me wonder like, oh, what's that? It kind of makes me wonder on the size of this door and like where the handles are at. Like you may want to scale those down just to get a little bit more scale context in. It's like maybe we should drag this one down here. Look at it like this. Yeah, see, I think with this opened up more, it's just the read is better. So you could do that. You just need to get some gradient going on the door maybe as well. It's an angry door. There we go, angry. The other one was not so angry. It was like something else focusing. And really pay attention to this path here. Like getting the detail for like how this grass ends and why it ends and the ground type. Like what it transitions to as it goes to this path and then how it goes back to the environment. Like into the bush, into the grassiness. Because you want it to feel like this is a path, right? And you want to then ask yourself, like, okay, I guess this is part of that area. So this is all part of that. And then there's this little fire thing here for cooking. The tree being right behind it feels a little strange. And then you're getting shape language, you know, like this, and trying to break that bareness. Like this is super bare. Getting some grass on that, maybe bringing a tree in front of it. These roots look really cold, or like the albedo for it. Like I would look at this in albedo view and just really try and balance everything to look like they're in the same environment. If it was just, I mean, there's all this smoke. I guess it depends. Like the scorch marks would be if there's fire here, right? But if there's fire behind it, and then the smoke is a little bit blacker, that could push it a little bit more. Let me read chat here for a second. I do have some mentorship spots opening maybe next month. I'll announce them in the announcement channel when they open. I don't know how many to open though. We'll see. They're a bit expensive now, just to like really get you to commit to, you know, hunkering down and working on your stuff. And it gives me the opportunity to focus more on you. So there's that. It's also I cap it at 3 months now. So we do the mentorship in those 3 months, and then boom. I rose the price to motivate you and to also give me more free time. Nice, Fatal. Coming out of the shadows just to roast me. But it's definitely, when we look at this scene, to get back to this, because I think there's some other scenes we need to work on or comment on, is really clarifying this path, really emphasizing it, and as you get further away from it, that it becomes more and more wild. Yeah. I would check your albedo only and really look at the colors and see if they're all temperature-wise kind of in tune. And then compositionally, it's about reading that path. And I think it's a good idea to focus on the gate being the focal point. I mean, even this could be the focal point if you wanted it to be. But I think a tree being the focal point just doesn't make sense given we're at a gate. Really cool, though. Really cool. And Fatal, I'm going to think about that one in my sleep. Let me check out, what is this? What is Sync Sketch? I think I heard about this. Ooh. Ooh. Oh my God, I can draw on it. Okay, hang on. I don't know. It's whatever my college recommended. So you got some shots here, and blockout stage of an abandoned hidden Cambodian temple. I'm working on a blockout, not finished. Pretty much going through the traps to reach an amulet hidden or held by a statue. I want the lighting to be dark blue. So what's present right now is definitely not finalized at all, and I want to add leaves shadows from the tree place outside. Not sure what to ask about. Maybe suggestions for efficient ways to finish this environment in 8 to 9 weeks. I'm in college for context. Okay, let's dig through here. Okay, so you got some traps. You got some roots coming through the ceiling there. Okay, and then yeah, it looks like some traps. Okay, so I guess you're going this way. There's traps here. You go this way. There's a trap. So you can hop on this and go that way. Yeah, the college is game art, by the way, not something else. So then this is from the other view. Then you have like a hidden, this like little path here. So I guess this feedback is to make this area here like traversable, right? Because I would agree, you should pull this to here. That way you can do this easier without falling. We know it's supposed to be a challenge, but the challenge is in these traps or this center part, and this is more for like navigation. So I get the feedback for sure. You don't want this to be a challenge because that's not the design, right? Yep, so that makes sense. I cannot believe I'm drawing on this. I'm going to look into this sync sketch. So that makes sense. You've got some roots here. This is pretty cool. So what I would do, can I just draw on this? Is there like layers? How does this work? So you probably want to make the ceiling modular. So that way you only have to build this piece, a damaged version and maybe a non-damaged version. And then for the roots, I would maybe like, depending on how often you're using them, let me see here. You're using them here as well. You can probably, if you plan it, you can probably use these roots. You can use the same ones here. Now, this is why I suggest blocking them out, right? Because like, if you can block out the roots and place them as if those blockouts were the final shape, you can use them over and over again and confirm the flexibility of the asset and the usage, and then you should be golden. You could also just do this with a spline, or like you could use Houdini to do this. But with this language of like coming out of the ceiling and then going back in space and then following the wall, if there's a way to go from the ceiling back, and then that's a prop, and then you have a prop that's like maybe this piece, you have like a corner prop that's this piece, and then one that like meets the ground. So this would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe this is 5 and 6. And then from there, you can go and reuse it in the other location, you know? Dude, this is kind of, what's this one? Ooh. Okay, okay. Oh, subscription. Oh, interesting. Yeah, you could try approaching it in a modular way. Just be conscious of like how they meet, because that could be difficult, depending on like how you're doing it. And don't be afraid to create like a alpha card that's like these like really fine vines that are really like micro. And then you can place those where you need to mask maybe the connection point, right? And those can like span across the ceiling and whatnot. Maybe even hang, maybe they're hanging off of this. So you get this like so much more depth from it. He is loving this website. You know, it's cool. It's cool. I'm curious. Can I erase this? Oh my God, I can. Okay. Someone else's doodles. I'll leave that alone. Yeah. You've got some pottery here as well that you're using. I guess the biggest thing is figure out the kit of wall pieces you're going to need that you can use to build this entire environment. Because it's quite a large scene. And I feel like right now the hallways are quite empty. So figuring out what you do with this wall. Oh my God, it's pressure sensitive too. So this wall, is it going to be like, you know, is it this type of language going on? Oh my God, perspective. Let's go. You know, like how are things constructed? Have I played Kingdom Come Deliverance? No, I think that would actually require more of my life than I can give. But I've been watching a lot of it. I think I've watched, I don't know, 20 hours of it at this point. It's really fun. I believe it. It looks great. It looks great, and the gameplay looks really good. I guess think about how all of this is going to be put together. The ceiling could be simple, or you could use the ceiling to guide. So like the ceiling could be inset, and then it like comes out and then around. Maybe there's like that, you know, that crack that's here. There could be a sliver, and there's like all this plants and stuff that are growing through that cut in the ceiling. Think about how maybe you could design the ceiling to meet the walls, and then what happens with the walls. Ledges and what's like detail-wise is on the ledge, right? I don't know if you're probably going to want the shape language, of course, to match the stuff you're seeing, but in your references. But the big picture is going to be figuring out how to put the scene together. I would highly advise you block out your pieces and try and build the scene with them, including the walls. I think it's in 8 to 9 weeks. I think it's the only way you can build a scene this large. You have to already start to figure out how to break it up into pieces that you can reuse. And the more you reuse, the faster you'll build the scene. Really cool. Really, really cool. And I'm going to look into this sync sketch. Okay, next one. Wait, did I just open the... There we go. Are those crutches? I'm trying to see the scale. Yeah, scale seems right. The room is huge. Kindly ask. So your scene's too big. The bed is too flat. The metals look too dark. I don't know what makes this Stalker. From Stalker movie. So it's not Stalker game. It's Stalker movie. So if you want to be saying that you're going off of a movie scene, I would definitely have like a reference image. So you have your final shot here, and then you have like all your references that you break down and show like how you put the thing together. And how you constructed it is basically like you're showing the material, you're showing the chair, how the walls are put together. Like all of these posts could probably be combined into a collection of props in one scene, and then you have your material post. I would like to see like wireframe and texture of this, which is like the texture maps, just to see how you're thinking about building environments. And yeah, I think the only thing that's really kind of confusing me is without the context of the movie Stalker, I don't know what to go off of, and I don't know how accurate the scene is to the reference. Yeah, when it comes to modeling, you can see the bed frame here. It feels very rigid. I know it's metal, right? But because everything is so straight, it doesn't feel natural. So if there was a way to even slightly bend them a little bit in the geometry, they'll end up becoming more natural that way. And then I think the blowing out of the window is all right. I don't know if how do I say this? I don't know if the movie is like this, but to me this is too much of this like yellowish tinge. I would rely on like the direct light being this warm yellowy tinge, the ceiling light maybe even being off, and all of the ambient lighting being cooler. So that way you get this nice contrast between the warm and the cold. Just because like outside it's not all yellow, right? It's the sky is hitting you with blues as well. Then again, I don't know the movie, so it could be something to highlight. How this is put together, makes me ask more questions than go, oh wow, cool. So if we click this, we zoom in. Actually, what I'm gonna do is we're gonna move this over here. I'm gonna drag us in here. We're gonna doodle. Okay, so you can see we got straight lines like this, and then you can see lines going like this. So I think your UVs are actually skewing. Something's skewing there. And I'm not sure how these are being applied. I think with the little information that you're giving me, my assumption is that this is uniquely textured. I don't know if these are vertex painted or if it's like 0 to 1 and you're just tiling the material left to right. You've got like a normal error here on the wall. That's something that should be addressed. The detail here, like this side stuff, this is nice. This frame feels really good. It's nice and soft in the right ways. Like it's not, no, it's baked. Okay, so baked. So for game dev, do not bake like this. What you want to do is make this wall material here tileable. Maybe you have a gradient in the tile. Then you have either a second UV set or you're building it into the shader that this dripping is its own thing on top. And then these would be placed as decals separately. There would, the dripping that's down here, that could be a decal as well. That way you get full reuse. And like, say the director that you're working for is like, I don't want this here, I want it over here. Or I don't want this one, and I want this one to be bigger. So then you, like, to make this bigger, you have to do rebakes. The resolution of this texture is probably super high res if we're saying it's baked. So this is probably, I'm gonna guess it's a 4K. And if that's a 4K, like, let's look at it like this. 4K, that's 4 2048s. You could make this wall tile with 1K. Then you could make the drip pattern with 1K. These decals could be 512, 512. I mean, these could be their own group. This one could be the same as this one. Or no, this one's smaller, so maybe this is another 512. So you can see like these three, maybe this is a 1024, but both of these are in the same texture sheet. So now you're looking at 512 times, let's say times 3, and then a 1K. So now we're looking at 1K, 1K, almost 1K because it's 3 512s. You could probably make another one and just put them all on 1K, or have them separate so they load in faster. And then another 1K. All of that texture work can do the same thing here and fit in a quarter of this 4K texture. I think that illustrates it enough. Otherwise, looks cool. Thumbnail looks sick. Yeah. Trying to think if there's anything else I want to highlight. Like in the post, was I right about the skewing there, by the way? I don't know. I don't know if it's actually skewing or not. It feels like it is, though. Oh, yeah, there's a little detail there, too. The chair looks good. I think I'll move on from that one because we got more posts to go through, and it's already like 9:46. I hope that met your demand. There's one thing I could probably start doing is, so how you're doing this looks cool, but that won't work in game dev. I'll start saying that more often. How about that? You want to show how much you improve as well? Hell yeah, man. That's what we're all about. But it all depends on how people want to be critiqued, right? I appreciate that you let me know, though, because then I can, then I know what your expectations are, what you're willing to handle. This looks cool, Jamie. Try my hand at character art with these snow mittens. These are serious. So let me finish reading your message first. Hoping to make some more snowboarding clothes because it's really fun. Oh, cool, man. Mainly looking for feedback on the sculpts, folds, and general texturing. I mean, this definitely is not my expertise. I think we would need some reference to really know. My gut feeling when I looked at this was the entry point of the glove, the entry point, the part you put your hand in feels a little narrow. Like, especially here, it feels like it gets really small. So it's very like stylized feeling. And then deep. So like, if you imagine where your thumb is here, right? Oh my God, can I draw? Imagine your thumb is there. Like how far before your fingers meet stop? Like they probably don't go further than here, no? So thinking about the size of that and then like the size of the hand, that's my hand drawing skills. I think most people would expect that to be wider, and then you have the strap for the smaller wrists. You designed it for stylized shaped characters. The sausage man. Dude, hell yeah. Okay. Otherwise, I feel like there's wrinkle, like this wrinkle here feels nice. These ones feel a little wobbly. You probably want them to feel more like constrained to the point up here. This area is interesting. Are they? I don't know if it's really done like this or not. Maybe you've got some reference that you're going off of for that. But this feels a little strange to me. But yeah, I think we need to see it in more context. But overall, the materials feel pretty cool. I don't know if they need to be so dirty. Maybe not in the albedo. Maybe it could just be in the roughness. The wrinkles here would probably do more of this. Hang on. Aha. Yeah. I don't know if you can see that. But I wear these gloves every day because it's freaking cold here. And a lot of the seams are, yeah, a lot of it goes to this thumb point, and then it just fans out from here. And then you've got any folding that happens is going to be there. You'll see those in like the fingers themselves. But yeah, I would. I think if you're making the gloves like this, you should probably get like an atomic, like an anatomy character that has the exaggerations you're working with, and build to those. I'm excited to see more. How cold you got in Malmo right now? It's -1. That's not too bad. It's more the wind. It's the wind that gets you. I was on my way home and my cheeks were burning. And it wasn't even, it was 0 at that time. It's probably really cold out there now. There was snow out there this morning, which I was not expecting. Okay, let's. We got a few more. So I just close it so we don't disappoint anyone. Hopping in to the next one. Boop boop. Ooh, sir, David, sir, this is looking pretty sick, man. That is some improvement if I've ever seen any. We're just gonna pump this up a little bit. Okay. That is looking pretty rad, man. Yeah, it's that cold snap right before spring. So, looks pretty cool. The building looks really nice. Like from this view, the way you're texturing, really interesting. The color palette as well feels nice. Feels really nice. I think some of the stuff that's maybe sticking out to me is shape language. So you got some shapes. Oh my gosh, hang on here. You got this shape, right? And you can see how wobbly that is, and it even gets broken by these nice like little mushrooms and the little rope. So like silhouette wise, quite interesting. Now on the structural stuff, you can see that it's very like straight here. This is extremely straight. These here look pretty straight as well, right? So you can see kind of what I'm illustrating here. What I would actually do is kind of lean into this like language you've been building. So things are a little bit more, you're seeing it here too. It's nice and it's got a little curve to it. I would take these lines and maybe just push it down a little bit. Just give it a little bend. Here is straight, right? Maybe you curve that out a little bit more. Or give it a little bit of a wobble. Something like, you know. Heard. This looks really cool though. I'm really liking the direction you've taken this. Now, for the distance in the environment over here, stylistically, really like execution, these trees look so cool. You should be extremely proud of those. The way that the grass blends into these is looking pretty good. There's still a little bit of an edge to it. I'd see if you can find a way to like push that blend just a little bit further. Maybe it's okay as well. I'm just trying to figure out how to like make it end naturally so it doesn't feel abrupt. This rock feels a little strange being out here. Maybe if it was more like what's the goal with this rock? Because I feel like you've got a few rocks just placed. I would maybe like place this one over here as well, and maybe like some smaller ones. Maybe a little spiky friend over here hanging out. If we look around, see you've got these like smaller details. Man, I love these. That looks cool. The transition, the foam, the rock sticking out. You got some nice like build up over here. A little bit of blending weirdness happening here, but you know. Dude, there's some little houses over here. What? Get out. Try and build those a little bit more to be integrated with their own trees and like logic around them, right? Just like you're seeing here. Love the sparse version of the tree. Some nice variety. Now, what I will say is this area is very like bare. Like if you could get some bushes or something, maybe some of those little grass tuft things that pop up, or just some variety in there. Maybe another stump, just because you want to wipe out these lines that are happening like in the back here. And you really just need to like I guess you can. I want to get better at painting. I can feel it now. It's bugging me. But like getting those bushes in will go a long way for getting you that volume and softness in the environment so it doesn't feel like just a big flat plane. And then any of these lines that you're seeing, try and kill those. And any way to get rid of some of these straighter lines to just feel a little bit more organic. Like you're doing it with the stairs. Hell yeah. You're doing it here. Hell yeah. And it's just, yeah. I think the thing that's sticking out for me here is this moss kind of feels like it doesn't belong. Like, I like the idea of it. Maybe it's the color or the value. It just needs to be adjusted to kind of fit the palette that we're looking at. Like maybe that color should be closer to this. Maybe a little less yellow is all it needs. Yeah, and then it's just finding stuff to break up the tree. Is that water back there? What's going on back there? But it's looking really good. It's looking really good. I would see if like, because this detail is really close to you, I would see if you can get your little grass tufts to go all the way up to the edge of the path and use some smaller rocks to help support the transition to the little pathway material. So right now it's very bare here. And it's like if you can just manually bring in some grass, shrink it as you get close to the edge, maybe some little rocks, maybe a change in the shape of the edge here so like it dips down a little bit more towards the path. Then you can use some grass here. Getting some of these tufts, maybe you can get that along this. You're just trying to break up these edges and help with the material blending that's happening. Nice, Zach. It's true. But the palette here is really nice, and the balance and composition's pretty cool. I'm feeling it. It's really nice. This shot's cool too. Man, I kind of want to see this in motion. Like, are these going to be like kind of flopping a bit in the wind? all these points are pinned, and it's just kind of this little lantern thing here is swinging. What's this look like at night? I don't want you to answer that if you don't plan on doing a nighttime scene. Really cool. Oh no. Yo, let's go, Alex. Hopping in, building the scene. Let's see here. We got that one, and then we got your reference. Okay. So the overall shape is there. I feel like you need to now push. You've been working on the trees in the scene and are wondering if it reads right. So the thickness of this tree is kind of hard to, like, it looks like it's one tree. I would thin that out so you get this look, get that split in there, and add the other tree in there. The thing you're gonna need is some type of a directional light, you know, like, let's see here. You're gonna need a directional light pointing this way. Like, I know this is the concept, but so you get this like cooler highlight that's happening on everything. Maybe not a directional light. Let's try a rectangle light, and just like use a lighting channel. Try that out. So if you go to the if you select the light, if we're in Unreal, you know, in the side panel here, you got your details. If you search channel, light channel, you'll find like 0, 1, 2. I think it goes up to 2. If you set this to 1 and turn the 0 off, and then select your trees and set those to 1, this light will only affect other props that are in that lighting channel. So that way you can get this type of finite control if you need. I honestly don't think you need to do that, but I wanted to make sure that you understood that exists for this type of fidelity control. I would just put a box light here, hit the side here so that you can get some more definition on these shapes, and that'll help you decipher how this is reading. Right now, too thick. I would branch it and try and do something like this. And yeah, it's just right now you can't see much. Wonder if I can. Nope, other way around. This one. Hey, see, I have to blow it out to really see. So you're gonna want to get those roots and stuff in there as well. It's getting there though. Like I can see you're placing all this stuff in. Let's kill that there. The trees in the back here feel pretty good, but again, you can't really decipher between like, whoops, this shape in the back and the trees in front. There's these planes here, and then I don't know what this is over here, but then there's another tree, and then you've got a tree here. So there's some layers that need to happen in order for you to really feel that, and you might need to use like fog planes and stuff for that as well, just to try and get that separation. I'd maybe just try just brightening up your scene for now, and just laying out where the things are at and how it's like macro composition for the back area, and for this one, it's more about just trying to achieve the look you're going for, and not to forget about these smaller details. These roots might be able to, like if the base of the tree is modeled in this way, you can then maybe model and place these roots separately coming from like ZBrush, for example. And that can be like a kit that you can use over and over. Oh, snap. What's this? Interesting. But yeah, those are the details I feel like are missing right now. And also just make sure to get all of this stuff here. Like you have the starts of it here, and it's just trying to fill this all out, even if it's just blockouts. Just simple shapes to identify where things are at. This is nice. It's cool. But yeah, awesome. I'm gonna go like this. So funny I delete like that. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, let's go to is it Hamid? Look at this. Oh wait, what am I doing? You can do it like this. This looks pretty cool. The ladder feels a little wide. It's kind of hard to tell the scale. We got our interesting shape there. I don't know if Twitch freaks out over that. They might. They might freak out over that. We'll just, you know, we'll just adjust. Composition's really nice though. Corner here might be a little bright. Din, what's up? You think this symbol messed up your ArtStation post? Interesting. Really? Quite possible. I have no idea if that's a thing, but I guess, like, I don't know. That wouldn't be surprising, I guess. So this corner is really bright. I would see if you can tone the lighting down. I mean, maybe you're saying for like future work, just think about like where light is at and see if you can like, how do you describe that? Basically, there wouldn't be much lighting over here other than what's being reflected. And so, yeah, that kind of would help with the lighting composition. And like you can see these beams are here. If the environment was a little bit darker behind the beams, those would pop out so much more. I don't know if I even have like a smart way of masking that stuff. I do not. I'm gonna have to look into like how to mask better in here. I'm so used to Photoshop when it comes to like the little micro tools. But yeah, getting it darker up in the rafters will allow these beams to kind of pop a bit more. You can see a bit of it here, which is really nice. Compositionally, pretty cool. This seems like a lot of detail for not the focal point. I would probably just remove those panels, maybe desaturate these a bit or like lower the value on them. That way they just kind of blend into the background. Hey, Fatal, have a good one, man. There's a lot of tires and barrels back here. I'd probably just like think about it how a real place would be. Just stack up some tires here and then a bunch of barrels. It doesn't have to be like trying to break it up and reuse randomly. Although I understand and get why you're doing it because this back wall is just a straight line otherwise. Yeah. I think framing wise, maybe if you were to give us a little bit more room over here, I don't think that's... Yeah, if we were able to, framing wise, get about that much more, I think it would feel a little bit more comfortable. It's really close to the right side right now, which is kind of, you know, it's distracting because of it. And it ends up leading you here. So then you look here and then you see all these details and you're looking at that. You're not looking at the plane. So it's, you really want the environment around the plane to be the thing that's kind of subdued. And it's the plane that's popping to you. So anything you can do to get the lighting on the plane to just like really emphasize would be good. This ladder is sketchy, man. Yeah, see? Broken step and everything. No, it feels really wide, but maybe that's the design of this older type of ladder. Yeah. Oh, you did a technical break. Okay, I'm gonna bring this over. I don't know if we're gonna get yelled at by you know who, but we'll just deal with it. I like this breakdown. This is cool, showing like how you put it together and like highlighting how you're doing things. Really cool. You wanted to add a character on top of the ladder using a welding machine? Man, that would take some work to make sure it looks good, for sure. Oh, that symbol. You know, I just mask it out. Jesus, D-Clan. Yeah. So I like the presentation of like how you're displaying your maps like this. I wouldn't suggest blending with like the like half opacity. I'd let this be full res or like full opacity. But it does show your technical understanding when you highlight these types of like how you're putting things together. It's good to see you, D-Clan. Lurking. Me too, single. Me too. Oh, I just realized the environment is black and white too. That's kind of cool. Very nice. So, I mean, generally, dude, look at the detail in there. Why did I not... Hang on. How did I not notice that in this view? That's crazy. Maybe these like beams, these little supports, they're a little bit thicker. Working and lurking. Dude, that's what I'm talking about. I think these details are missed out on because we're just not looking there, right? Getting some AO in there that's maybe a little bit stronger or a little bit more like exaggerated. Maybe getting these a little thicker could give you a little bit more of a read on it. And all this detail too is really nice. Oh man. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, judging by the way this was broken up and then seeing how the sheet was used, bake some parts of mostly mid-poly and unbaked areas together in a texture. Like this probably should get more resolution because it does feel like it's a little low res feeling. But I don't know, maybe that's just because we're zoomed in on it. These look great. Super nice. Maybe a little too shiny. Dude, I'd maybe even lean into that more. Maybe make this inner area a little bit more shiny like this. Maybe tone the rust down a tad bit and really let those surfaces like read. You can see this kind of aging that's happening here in the roughness. If it was more directional, then the aging looks like it's from the blade spinning a lot in the past. Really cool. It turned out really nice. I think it's more about compositionally like how to push your environment to support what you want us to focus on. So it's going to be like getting the environment to be pushed back. You can see by you making it darker, you're almost doing it already, right? Like this corner here is far less in focus, and we're looking here. And so like getting the environment to get pushed back, and then you're just really focused on the plane. It's honestly, it's more about like when you squint, what do you see? Because I think if I squint here, it's this, and I guess it's a little bit of this, but there's not a lot of lighting hitting it doesn't feel like the plane's being lit up. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the plane being lit up. Alvin, dude, good to see you, man. What's going on? So it's not necessarily that the plane needs to be lit up more. It's maybe that the environment around it just needs to be pushed down a bit more. So that will help with that balance, you know? The composition definitely leads you to the ladder more. You could try putting the ladder on the other side of the plane. So you have that detail. But I do like that there's quite a bit of detail right here. We don't look at it right now. We look at like over here. Like there's all these hot spots here and here. Like those, push those down, then make this corner a little bit darker and make everything behind the plane a little bit darker, lighting wise. And then this just pops. It just ends up popping out naturally because of it. But yeah, I hope that was helpful. Okay, it is time. It is time to rock and roll. Thank you everyone for posting your stuff. Really nice stuff today. Another quality stream. Dude, another quality chat. Let me tell you. No, you guys are awesome. I really appreciate you guys hanging out, giving your input as well. That's great. Ooh, and tomorrow is Friday. Let's go. I hope you're doing well, Alvin. Good to see you. Oh, I see you messaged me on Discord too. Friday, best day of the week. Heck yeah. My favorite day is Friday. My second favorite day is Monday, because Monday is the beginning of being able to kick ass. You know, setting the stage for the next 5 days. No pressure. It's all about hype. Anyways, tomorrow's Friday, so enjoy it. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good evening. Bye, guys.